Hey, what's up, guys? It's Travis Britt here with SoPrep.com. You may be asking yourself, what is SoPrep.com? Well, it is a one-stop shop to help you get prepared for the statewide officer certification exam, whether you're in a basic recruit training program or you want to transfer your police certification from another state into the sunny state of Florida. I can help you out. Check me out, guys. I've got some free resources over at the website, SoPrep.com. I give away 17 pages of free guided notes, which is a template or a study guide that you can use if you want to dig through the books, basic recruit, high liability. You want to do that on your own, that's fine. If you want me to help you out and save you some time and give you some more confidence and ease some of the anxiety that you may have about this exam, then you can sign up for some of the subscriptions where you will get 20 hours of direct instruction that are going to basically break those books down. Not basically, they do break the books down Barney style so that you understand them, which is the way I like my education, step by step, right, by the numbers. And then you're going to get access to this free test, or not free, you got to pay for it. You're going to get access to this comprehensive test. It's going to give you a bank of 200 questions. I have a question bank of thousands of questions where you're going to get a random 200, just like the day you're going to sit down at Pearson View, right? And you can see the clock's ticking up here. And you are going to get 200 multiple choice questions, just like you're going to get at Pearson View if you sign up. If you don't, no big deal. Use my free resource. I can still help you guys out. Want to help you guys out. Enough of the plug-in. Let's get down to this question, guys. It's a question about reactionary gaps, right? So you're on the street. What type of gap should you keep between you and a subject or a citizen? It doesn't matter if we're talking about a suspect or just a regular citizen on a police consensual encounter, mutual encounter. We always want to be mindful of our reactionary gaps. Why? So that we can react if we need to, right? We don't want to wake up dead on the streets. So with that being said, what's the suggested reactionary gap you should keep from a suspect if you do not have visible control of the hand? So let me ask you a quick question. Like, what is going to kill you on the streets, right? A lot of guys will probably be like, or guys or girls will be like, oh, it's going to be guns, it's going to be bombs, it's going to be da-da-da-da. No, it's going to be hands, right? So there's a lot of telltale signs out there as far as body language that are very important. The words, very important. Actions, very important, right? But if I'm going to hurt you, right, my brain's going to have to tell my hands to do something, right? For the most part, unless I'm some weirdo that's trained to like bite you to death or something. So with that being said, hands, we always want to keep visible control of hands on the streets. Does not matter what type of call we're on. Does not matter what tier the stop is or the encounter is. If it's a consensual mutual encounter, investigative stop, or probable cause, we always want to control hands on the street because hands are what are going to hurt you, right? So let's talk about this reactionary gap. Right, suggested reactionary gap you should keep between you and a suspect if you do not have visible control of the hands. Real quick, I want to talk about how you have to read these tests, guys. It says do not, right? If you've read that as you do have visible control of the hands, it's going to be completely different, right? So make sure you're reading to understand, not just reading to get done. We have a lot of folks out there, myself included, that they like to rush their reading, right? Because I can read fast. I don't care how fast you can read. I care about how fast you can comprehend what you have read, right? You got a lot of time on this test. Let's use it, right? So we're talking about visible control in the hands, not visible control in the hands. I do not have visible control in the hands in this question. What's the reactionary gap? How much distance should I have in between me and the subject that I'm running into, right? So 6 to 9 feet, right? 6 to 9 feet. You want to keep it or scratch it? We're going to scratch it, right? Because I know that if I have visible control of the hands, meaning that I encounter someone on the streets, right? Show me your hands. They do so. Right? They're compliant. I can see their hands. I can close that gap into 6 to 9 feet, and I can do so safely, right? Let's say I turn that corner and they got their hands in their pockets. Show me your hands. They refuse all verbal commands. Do I want to close that gap into 6 to 9 feet at that point? I do not, right? So this says do not have visible control of the hands. 6 to 9 feet means that you do have visible control of the hands. I know that might seem a little confusing. The book breaks it down that way. If you have visible control of the hands, 6 to 9 feet is the appropriate reactionary gap that you want to keep. So we're going to scratch it because the question's asking us, do not have visible control of the hands. And we'll make sense of that here in a second. B says 10 feet. Not sure, guys. Not sure, right? C says 25 feet, right? And when we're talking about threats on the street, if you do unfortunately have to use deadly force, it's going to be viewed through the lens of objective reasonableness, whether or not it was reasonable, right? On 3 core tenets, right? Did the suspect have the ability to harm you? Did the suspect have an opportunity to harm you? Did the suspect have intent did the suspect place your life in jeopardy, right? So those core questions are going to be asked. If the answers objectively, reasonably would say, yes, they did have all those things, then sources say, courts say, precedent says that your deadly force was justified, right? So with that being said, 25 feet, I get into that ability, opportunity, and intent or jeopardy. Why? Because 25 feet, we don't think about the threats that are on the street. What are some of the threats that we're going to face? Obviously, we talked about visible control of the hands, right? If I see there's nothing in their hands, then 6 to 9 feet is good, right? Because you're not going to just jump out. I'm in my interview stance. I'm talking to you. You're not going to just jump out and punch me in the face from 6 to 9 feet. If they are, you need to get yourself some training, right? Because you should be able to react within that gap, right? You got some pretty slowed time. You got a poor mind condition if you can't react between that 6 to 9 gap. But let's say they do have something in their hand, right? Let's say they have a knife in their hand, right? Where are they safe at? What is a safe distance? Now, obviously, I don't like that situation at all, right? But what is the reactionary gap that I need between a knife? And the studies have shown that if someone is within 21 feet, right? It's called the 21 feet rule. If someone's within 21 feet with a knife and you have a holstered pistol, they will beat you every single time, right? I don't want to say every single time, but the majority of times they will beat you. And if we're talking about handguns and knives, right? Those are fights we can't afford to lose, right? So 25 feet. 25 feet is going to be my correct answer on this one, and I know that because the 21-foot rule says that somebody has a knife within a 21-foot gap, they can close that distance before I can get my weapon out of the holster. Why is that important? Right? Because I want to be able to react. Right? So when I look at these other choices, I know they're all shy of 21 feet, and I know that 21 feet rule. So they're going to go, hey, we need at least 21 feet, right? And as police officers, we're going to be conservative with our lives. So let's push that out to 25 feet. 25 feet is the correct answer. If you do not have visible control of someone's hands, you need to have a reactionary gap of at least 25 feet. Right? Show me your hands. Show me your hands. I see their hands are clear. What can I close that gap into at that point? 6 to 9 feet is an appropriate reactionary gap. Do I want to stand 2 feet away from somebody? No. 1, because I'm in their personal space and that's weird. And 2, they can punch me in the face. Right? And there's a gun on every call, guys. It's on your hip. So you have to protect yourself at all times. So with that being said, we picked our correct answer. I know this one's going to be correct because we kicked that 21 feet rule. Guys, sometimes that's the way we work through these questions. We take knowledge that we have, we piece it together, we use our context clues in the question, and we add it all together for a sum total of the correct answer. At 25, I'm going to pick it, I'm going to stick it, and I'm going to move on. Guys, if you like these videos, please like, comment, subscribe, share them with your classmates at the basic recruit training programs or your equivalency courses. I would appreciate the love. Check me out at SoCE guided notes for free if you want them. Subscriptions that are awesome. They're going to give you this test that's in front of me right now. A random bank of 200 questions. Had an individual last week, told me they got a 92 on my practice test, which I could see. And then they went to Pearson VUE. They sat down and they got a 92, guys. So I've got some social proof out there that this stuff's working, guys. So I knew it would, but social proof's always awesome to back you up, right? So with that being said, guys, check me out, SoCE Hit me up in the comments if I can help you out. If you got any questions, I'll get them answered if I can. Guys, have a great one, and make sure you got a plan, right? You don't have to buy one of my plans, but make sure you have a plan. Have a good one, guys.